Hey fam, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining me in this all signs tarot reading. I really appreciate the company. This channel is more so for sharing words of encouragement and confirmation because I feel like most of us, we already know what we need to do is just, you know. And either way, who would ever want to turn down some positive vibes, right? So thank you for joining me. Let's see what we got in store for us this round. I've already pre-shuffled, so let's go ahead and cut the decks, starting with the archetypes. The tear, the morning, the release, the rain. Tears are droplets of letting go. Once they begin to fall, we allow the swelling tide of emotion to run its elemental course. Often the tear is what is needed in order for a conversation or situation to break into the next level of intimacy and vulnerability. Some say that tears are so powerful in softening our egos that they open up a portal to the unseen world. Through our watery eyes, the ancestors catch a glimpse of us, and we are reminded of their eternal embrace. We sense our humanity, our humility, and we allow ourselves to be held. It is likely this card appears when there is grieving yet to do, a sinking down into disappointment or despair that, once acknowledged, will bring a shimmer of clarity to our dewy eyes. There's something that is a very necessary part in the process that you haven't been admitting to yourself, that you haven't been allowing yourself to reach. I used to really hate crying. I'm still not happy about it because I end up with sinus headaches and those suck, but it's a cleansing, 100%. Our tear ducts aren't just for our, making sure our eyeballs are, clear of debris and stuff like that. They're attached to emotions for a reason. And a lot of times, the reason why we're crying, the reason why we hate crying, especially when we're in an argument or a really important conversation, is because all too often we feel like our words haven't been mattering to someone. We've been ridiculed. Our intelligence has been insulted. And that carries on, right? What if your emotions and your words can be honored and respected? What if beyond the sinus headache lies relief from the release? What if that is a very integral, important part of the healing journey of letting go? What if what you have to say, you have to think, you have to feel is so important and you're just scared of not being heard or understood properly? That's valid. That's usually why, if you're female, how many times have you been treated as though crying in a conversation is trickery, it's manipulation? Do you ever think that that's partly why you cry when you're in those conversations? Because it's been weaponized against you? Even if someone is playing tricks or whatever, things like there are a lot of these diagnoses that stem from trauma. So what if it can be both? that might resonate with someone. But for the most part, I feel like that's been used against you. And it's tainted your ability to cry. Let it out, fam. Set it free. Enable that release. It's time. This is a bit of a coaxing for you. Let's check the oracle cards. Nostalgia. The 33rd card. Maybe it's because you keep looking back, and the reason why you haven't let go is because you haven't been fulfilling that healing journey. You haven't shed those final tears, and that's a big part in being able to move on. Focus on the here and now. You're spending the majority of the time daydreaming, wondering what could have been if only things had gone the way you wanted. By doing this, you aren't giving yourself a fair chance. Truth is, there's nothing you can do to change what happened, no matter how many scenarios you craft in your mind. Make improvements to your present, not your imaginary. Be sure to nurture what you've been given. There's an element to it, right? There's an element to it that it's like you keep trying to fix, or maybe you just don't feel the closure. Fam, this has been kind of a running theme. They don't need to hear you say goodbye. They don't need to be a part of your process of moving on for it to be completed. Okay? This is your portion of the program. This is your part of the journey. This is your life. And if all you're doing is daydreaming and thinking about, then and not the now, or you're not allowing yourself to really, truly be present in your life now, that's not a healthy coping mechanism. That in and of itself can speak to trauma. Like, you may need to reach out, because even for meditation can be tricky when you're trying to work through trauma. It can unlock things that you haven't been allowing yourself to realize was there. There are things, like the things that you balk at, the things that you're like, oh, well, you don't want to. Like hating crying. What if those are the things you need to do in order to move on? When you have such a heavy reaction to something, instead of recoiling, open. Ask yourself why. Why do you react like this? Why do you like the things that you like? I feel like we should all do that at least once a decade. You know what I mean? Check back in with yourself. Make sure you're not just living the life that others expect you to, instead of respecting and honoring yourself and your present. Right? Fam, it's clarification time. Let's move on and lighten the mood a bit. This is YouTube. Here we go. Chapter 1. Justice. There we go. Balance. One of the 3 cards in the whole deck that has a sword going straight up. There's no confusion, only clarity. You need to allow karma to run its course. You need to allow the universe to follow through, because the universe is always going to. And you need to trust. You need to trust yourself and your capabilities, and in all those things. Confirmation belching trying to happen here. All of those things that you've been longing for, right? You need to get that heartache, that pain, that you need to let it go, so that life can show you how wonderful it can be. But you've been holding on. You haven't been releasing. And it's time. The universe itself is letting you know that it's time. Chapter 2. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Where are my Final Fantasy players at? Hey. That tends to be the music that plays when you win the battle. I mean, you know, I'm not going to go off about Lightning again. I love her. I don't care what anybody says. I have a soft spot for her. Even she got to evolve, right? She was so determined and had a one-track mind in that first 13 game, right? And by the end of the game, by the end of that linear AF story, even she was able to experience change while trying to keep it vague in case you haven't made it to that series in it. A rebirth is occurring, and it's time to allow it. This is your soul reborn. I'm not trying to make it into a religion thing or whatever, but either way, fam, this karma up the wazoo is trying to do its thing, and you need to just let it. You need to trust, right? Maybe there are things that you did or said yourself that you're not proud of. But what if the fact that you're not proud of it, you wish you hadn't said that, you wish you hadn't reacted in such a way? What if that is proof of your growth? Right? Chapter 3. Ooh, you have so many options. What do you want to keep within you as a dream? And what do you want to draw into reality? What are the illusions that you need to look beyond and no longer be entangled within? Why are these daydreams? Why do they have such a hold on you, right? And what if you, like, I feel like you're in your own way. And there's no need for that. Everything is working out. There may be things like fate, but you still have free will. You still have a choice in how you handle things. And just because anyone else doesn't like it, you know, are you handling things with disrespect? Are you wanting to hurt people? I don't feel that from you. I'm not sensing that from this community. I'm sensing hopes and dreams and fear. What are you so afraid of? Is it because you want to fix things so that they can be okay in your memory, but you're forgetting and overlooking that that is a different version. That's a different way of learning your lesson. Now, in the future, you know what not to do. You know how to handle whatever comes. You know how to recognize the red flags, and you know how to handle things accordingly. Trust that. Trust yourself. Don't insult your own intelligence. Right? Chapter 4. Boosh, trust your intuition. You are very connected. And you need to remember that. Who took that from you? Who insulted that and tainted it for you? I really hope they're not in your life anymore, because they don't belong there. Right? And maybe that's been a part of your growth. Maybe that's a part of your being able to accept your present moment so that you can look forward to the future, is reconnecting with the divine, reconnecting with the universe. Or, or you've already passed that point and you've been handing yourself over. And you're just unsure, oh, well, what is it that I'm supposed to focus on? What is it? There's so many things I want to do. But what? Trust your instincts. Trust your mood. Trust your creativity and your passion. Trust your intuition. We went from the previous reading having no major arcana to this one having justice, judgment, and the high freaking priestess. Goodness gracious. What's coming up underneath justice? Wow. Oh, man. I keep hearing that song from Purple Rain, the soundtrack, Star, every time I see this card. Oh, you glow, fam. Maybe this is speaking to confirm that your hopes and dreams, it's time. Rise and shine. It's time to sparkle. It's time to no longer hide behind this mask, this armor, or the past. It's time to shine. Something tells me that others have gravitated to you and that light within you, and you didn't even realize what was happening. They probably didn't either, you know? Maybe you're meant to be in the public. Maybe you're meant to be very popular. Because either way, you're a star right here on Earth. And this does speak of hopes and dreams. I always say when we see the hermit that it's the star that's inside of his lantern. The light within him, his intuition, guides. Why do you think you went up on that dang mountain in the first place, right? Oh, fam. What's coming underneath judgment? Woo! Fam! Look at that. Look. Speaking of stars, stars all over this canopy and right there at the freaking top of his crown thing, a majig. A little cap. This is the go card, fam. It's go time. Enough of this. It's go time. Stop hiding. Whatever that means for you. I'm pretty darn reclusive myself, I do say. I appreciate the internet. It's so enabling, am I right? But it's go time. Yeah. It's not like it's willy-nilly. There's a lot you've been planning. There's a lot you've been wanting to do. It's like, well, if I could, I would boop-a-doop-boop-boop. Fam, boop-a-doop-boop-boop, man. Like, do it. What's really holding you back? Fear? Are you already judging yourself? You're so worried about what others are going to think of you or already think of you. You're already judging yourself. Why? Fuck them, right? If they're mean, if they're cruel and disrespectful, that's their problem, right? It has nothing to do with you. That's their journey. That's their trauma that they have not healed from. Don't reflect that. Shine. You are an incredible human being. You are incredibly strong and resilient and capable. Oh, geez Louise, I just realized that we got 6 cards out here. And only one of them is not major arcana. Is that a 7? But it's 2 7s and the star is 17. Goodness gracious. Goodness. 20 and 2. Goodness. And 3 3. What's coming up underneath the 7 of Cups? The freaking 7 of Pentacles. Hey! Maybe you have been working on this. Maybe you have been trying to do things. But I get the feeling that, like if wishes were fishes, right? You keep being worried, like I'm doing all of this work and I'm not seeing, you know, the end game. It's not like, it's not quite time to harvest. But that's 3 7s, fam. 3 7s on the frickin' board. Technically 4 with that 1. Stay on course. I kind of wish I'd just, you know, drew all the cards before I started yapping so dang much. But, you know, maybe that's because somebody needed to hear those words. So, hey, everything's working out, fam. Everything's working very out, all right? Allow your emotions and your thoughts and your hopes and dreams and your desires and your wants to flow. It is time. This is happening. Please don't hold yourself back. If you need to take a breather, if you need to just kind of sit back and go, wow, it's okay to look and be like, I did that. Look at how far you have come. You did that. You've already done so much. Don't insult yourself. But don't give up. This is not the time to give up. If you need to evolve along the way, trust yourself. These 2 cards speak on so much intuition. This being is guided by the divine, whatever that is for you. It is okay to trust yourself. You know better. You know better. You know what to do. And if you need to really, like, just don't get lost in the sauce. You know what I mean? If something triggers you and you need to cry, then when you have a moment where you feel like you can, like, you know, you're not at work or something, you know, you're not out in public, you're not driving down the street in the middle of traffic and stuff, whatever. Let the tears flow. Let it go. Let it wash away. And allow yourself to be reborn from those. From that water element is very cleansing. Does someone like to cry in the shower? We got moons and stars. And moons and stars. Hey, rocking it. What's under the High Priestess? Okay. So, instead of comparing yourself to others, be inspired by them. Let your ego fuck off and be inspired. Let them be examples of all of the great shit that is possible. Because it's time for you to experience it. It's time for you to learn your version of greatness, your version of what a wonderful life can look like. Stop comparing. What if there is no competition? If there are opponents of any sort, they're worthy. You are worthy. What if you make them feel insecure? You know what I mean? Like, you never know what's going on in a person's head, even if they're being a jerky McJerky face. You know what I mean? Could you ever think that you're triggering them? Maybe they feel like they are less than you and unworthy of you. You have no idea what's happening in somebody's head. You have no idea what they've been through and how they truly see you. Sometimes people are drawn to the light and they only know how to insult. That's what they were taught. They haven't yet learned their healthier coping mechanisms. And that's on them. That's their journey. For all you know, you inspire others. It's very possible. Not everyone's very forthcoming with their own insecurities, you know? So instead of seeing people and being like, well, when is that going to happen for me? Well, why can't I have that? Because you keep wondering why, instead of claiming it. Some things take time. It may be the 7 and not the 9, but that looks like a healthy bush to me. Those aren't just little sprouts coming out of the ground. That's a huge ass bush. So close. Almost ripe for the picking. Admire your work. Don't insult yourself. If you're an artist and you're not even done with the piece yet, why are you insulting it? You're not even done yet. You see how you want it to be in your mind. And just because you're not quite there doesn't mean you're not going to get there. Keep going. You're not done yet. And tell your ego to fuck off. All right? The wands are passion and drive and courage. And you have a lot of courage. Trust that. What's the epilogue to this story? The 4 of Pentacles. 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. This person is so worried of losing everything that they've worked for that they're clinging. They've got money on their mind. They're holding it and clinging to it. It's under their feet. Their everything is so hyper-focused that they don't realize how far they've come. And the fact that you can rebuild if you ever need to, if anything ever happens, you know, look at history. Stock markets crash. Potatoes, fam. Right? But we always rebuild. You can have as many new beginnings as you want, or being so worried and clinging so dearly to it is closing you off from abundance, from more, and the greatness that can still find you. You're not done yet. Right? Let go of these outcomes that you've been clinging to. Stop assuming outcomes and open yourself up to all of the possibilities that are trying to come through. Be your full potential. Allow it. Release the fear, release the doubt, and accept your present, and accept and allow that so much can still happen. So much can still occur. You're not done yet. On the bottom is that moon. Maybe it's because we know what's already happened, right? We know what's already happened, and therefore it's easier to you know? Whereas the future, fate or not, with your free will and whatnot, like anything is possible. And that can be really scary for some, right? Why? What if you let the worst be behind you? What if the best is yet to come? Like your hopes and dreams. You've learned so much. You've made so many plans. And, what's that phrase? We make plans and God laughs. But you know what to do. You can switch gears. It's okay. May you have all of the options you could ever need. May you have access to them. Right? And it's okay if some things are still in the dark. A lot has been illuminated. And you know that, don't you? Trust that. It is safe to trust that. If it's coming from a place of love and purity and positivity, trust it. If it's your subconscious just spewing forth all the abusive crap that you've had to put up with throughout life, it can shut up. Did you hear that? That knocking? Hey, I love it when that shit happens. Boosh, confirmation, fan. Retrain that subconscious. Okay? You deserve better. You deserve better than being stuck in the past. You deserve this wonderful future that is in store. All right? Even if you can't see it right this second. Even if you're still comparing yourself to others. To who? You have no idea what their life is like. Especially if we're talking about like social media and stuff. Even if it's your best friend. You're not living their life for them. You're not in their head. You have no idea how their subconscious talks to them. I mean, unless they told you, right? You don't even know. You don't even know. What are the extra notes for this? Oh, fam, you can let it go. It's okay. You got this. All right? Boosh. Oh, hey, Virgo. Where are my fellow Virgos at? How's it going? This is an all signs timeless tarot reading, but hey, enjoy the silence. What here? There we go. Oop, the bottom. Hey, oh, the bottom is Gemini. Oh, hey, Geminis, I love you. Oh my goodness, I am so shy, whether you believe it or not. And Geminis are always the ones that get me yapping my damn face off. Because we can talk about anything and everything under the dang sun, under the dang moon. You know what I mean? Oh, remember back when we used to have phone bills and such? There was a Gemini and I that could not keep up with that bill. Something tells me that you should be enjoying the silence while it lasts. All right? Thank you so much for joining me in this tarot reading. Oh. I don't know. I just think that Virgos and Geminis make very good partners in crime. Geminis definitely make very good partners in crime. You tend to beat yourselves up a bit too much. And I feel like us Virgos, sometimes we're just too freaking analytical. That's like our key words, isn't it? I analyze. Stop it. Good luck. But let it go. Be free. How would you feel if you were free? Still my favorite Neville Goddard quote. All right, fam. Thank you for sticking it through the entire reading. I really appreciate that. And always remember that I love you.